Hey YouTubers, it's Bo Spurlock with Hellhound Outdoors. Right now I've got a knife that I do not have a sheath for, so while I was in the process of making one, I figured I would go ahead and do a video on how to make a Kydex sheath with mostly just the stuff you have at home. This Kydex, you can get it in about any color or shape, and it's usually say $12 for a pattern foot square, or like $5 for just a solid collar foot. $5 a foot basically, and patterns $12 a foot at knifecenters.com. knifecenters.com is where knifekits.com is where I get it from. I mean, you can probably find other places. Anyways, the first step is take your knife. Well, how I do it is just take the knife, set it on your piece, and give yourself plenty of room, at least an inch or so on each side, because when you press it, it's going to suck that material in. But just make sure you've got a good inch on each side, roundabout. They don't have to be perfect because there's going to be steps later to fix that. Once you have it, just go ahead and mark it. And then make a second piece to match. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect because there's steps coming up that's going to be different. Usually I use just a cutting wheel on a grinder. Seems to work best for me. You can use just a regular straight razor. I'm going to cut these real quick and then I'll be right back. Alright, we just finished cutting the piece of Kydex downstairs. Now, at your oven, just preheat your oven to about 300 degrees if you're using the .80. That's the only Kydex I've used so far, so I don't know about the 9.0 and the 9.5. And so, while we're waiting on the oven to heat up, one thing you need to remember is if you put your knife in between the Kydex and you don't tape it, it's going to be so tight that one, it'll scuff your blade over time. Two, you're going to be putting a lot of wear on the sheath. Three, it's going to be so hard you can barely even get it out. So just get regular masking tape. Take pieces of it. And basically, just go over your knife and leave 5 pieces on each side. I'm going to put 5 pieces on each side and then I'll be right back. Alright, once you get it taped off on both sides, just take a regular razor blade and trim around the edges so that you don't have a bunch of leftovers. So that way when you do your sheath, that it fits perfect. Or if you have a sharp knife, you can use that. Whatever you're going to use, just make sure it's sharp. So you don't have to really worry about the spine because it's mostly just for the thickness of it. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and the Kydex, we can go ahead and place it in the oven. Basically just stick it to where you can get a hold of it and put the collar side up. Whatever your outside of your sheath's going to be, put it up. And I'll be right back and I'll show you what we're looking for. Alright, Next, we're going to need a piece of foam. It doesn't have to be this. This is from the same website, Knife Center or knifekits.com. I keep wanting to say center because that's where I buy a lot of my knives. Anyways, this came in one piece that was just a square foot, and most of your knives are not going to be no wider for a sheath than 6 inches, so I just cut it in half. Next thing you want to do is just basically put one piece down and then check your Kydex, and you're going to want to make sure that it's just pliable. See how rubbery it is? Put one side up, have your other side, make sure that your knife is pretty much centered, and I always stick mine about an inch up on the handle. Stick your second piece on, and then just put your foam over it, and then all you need to do is just take your hands, press and hold, and if you want, kind of move your hands back and forth, rolling it a little bit, so that way you can make sure that it's getting down in the cracks and everything. And after you get it, give it about 1 to 3 minutes for it to cool down just a hair. Then you can kind of check on it, see how it's doing, see how it looks, and work on whatever spots you need to work on. As soon as I'm going to give this about 10 minutes and hold it. After 10 minutes is up, it should be cool enough to where you don't have to worry about it, and I'll be right back. Alright, after you get done pressing it for about 10 minutes, it'll look like this right here. You can see some of the detail in the handle and stuff like that. It's no big deal. I'm going to let it sit here for about another 20 minutes so it can finish cooling, so that it'll retain its hardness. Once it gets hard to where I can move it without it bending and such. Things to remember, just make sure that you keep it in a flat spot, or your sheath is going to be humped, bent, twisted, whatever. Also, during the time that it's cooling, if you want, you can put a weight on it. They make presses for this so that you don't have to use your hands. You can clamp it. I mean, you can do a lot of things. You can stand on it, whatever. The main thing is just get it shaped how you want it while it's hot, and then hold that shape and pressure until it cools down. As soon as this cools down, I'll be right back and we'll get on with it. Alright guys, the only thing I've done so far is I'm going to show you how to do your grommet outline, or however you want to say it. I'm going to show you how to get your dots for your grommets, your eyelets. The only thing I usually do is first I'll draw a line where the edge of the blade is going to be with a pencil. So that way I get a good idea. And then I try to keep my grommet holes, this little hole right here, it's going to be at least an 1/8 inch to 1/4 of an inch off the line, off the blade, because you got to think that's the center of the grommet. And the eyelets or grommet, whatever you want to call it, they're about a 1/4 inch hole or around. Next, take a ruler or any kind of straight edge, whatever you want to do. I come down at 1 inch for my first hole, and then every one after that, just put them at 1.5 inches, because 1.5 inches is your standard measurement for these. See right there? And so that way any of your attachments will work. Next I'm going to go ahead and drill my holes, and then I'll get on with it. Alright, next I like to use like a 3/32, any 16th, whatever, a smaller bit, and go ahead and do your little pilot holes. Try to hold both pieces, even though you've got it clamped. You can clamp it off, you can do it one at a time, however you want to do it. This is how I do it. once you get your little pilot holes done, just switch over and use a 1/4 inch bit. If that's the size grommets you bought. Sometimes there's 3/32 eyelets, I think. There may be 1/2 inch eyelets. It's whatever you buy, but just make sure you get the drill to fit or the bit to fit the hole. I'm going to go ahead and drill these, and then I'll be right back after I get the holes drilled. And I'm trying to make this as short as possible for you all, so I'll be right back. Alright, now that I got all my holes drilled, I just took 4 grommets and just set them in place just to hold the 2 pieces together. Now I'm going to mark my outside lines. Just basically hold your line, your tape, whatever you're going to use to get your edge. Hold it however wide or thick or whatever shape you're wanting to make this. Just make sure that you hold it the same on both sides and draw your lines. And then on the bottom edge here, a lot of people, I've seen them round. I've seen them just one-sided. I've seen them, seed. I've seen them every way you could think of. Me, I always go straight, and I just round the little corners. It's all up to you, but these last 2 holes that you do, I put these always here for paracord, just a leg tie basically. But whenever you go to do these 2, that's going to dictate what your shape is basically. So remember these 2 when you do your shape. If you're one side, just put your dot, working your way to the edge, however you want to do it. And another thing, if you want to, you can make this without grommets on the other side. I'll make another video sometime of that, whenever you just make a taco design is what I call it. But I'm going to finish these bottom 2 lines here and square this out. But this is pretty much the gist of it. I'll be back in 1 second, and I will show you how I take it to the lines. Be right back. Thanks. Alright, I'm going to go to 1 line here and show you all my preferred way of getting to my line. Because you got to take this material out. As you can see, I haven't knocked down my grommets yet. So, I'll show you how I go about this. I just want to start by saying, man, safety. Safety is the key. I don't have on safety glasses and such, but if y'all go to do this stuff, please do. If you get any of this Kydex in your eyes or something, man, it's going to be terrible, I'm telling you. But so, pretty much got this down to here. All I'm going to do is just finish up and get my lines off. As soon as the lines are gone, I'll come back and I'll show you how to put the grommets in. Alright guys, now that we got the shape of it, all you gotta do is figure out what side you're gonna have your sheath on. If you're gonna put it on this side, you want your grommets on that side, naturally. The grommets I have, I don't know if they're all this way or not, but the ones I have are made like this. And it comes, you gotta buy this tool, I think it's 15 bucks, same place, knifekits.com. And basically all you gotta do is stick it in the hole. And beat it with a hammer. See how it flattens them? That's all there is to it. I'm going to go in and I'll go ahead and get the rest of these grommets in, then I'll show you whenever I'm finished up. Alright guys, I got my grommets in. As you can see all the way around now. The only thing I got left to do is just put a tech lock or whatever, some kind of a clip to attach it to my belt. But other than that, I'm finished, so that concludes the video. I hope it helped. As you can see, retention's really good on it. Nothing to making these sheaths. Nothing to making these sheaths. If you can, give it a try. Start off just ordering the solid collars, and it'll make it a lot easier. Because like I said, it's $5 a foot. So hell, buy 4 pieces. Practice on about 8 sheaths. You know, one square foot will make at least 2 sheaths for, you know, most common size knives. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you got any questions, leave your comments below. Like, share, subscribe, help the channel grow. And thank you. I'm Bo Spurlock from Hellhound Outdoors. Goodbye.